pilot house. We're going up these stairs to the upper deck, also called flybridge. And we have great seating area up here. This is actually our favorite place to come and have dinner. We're up here in the nice breeze, the sun is setting.
Heading down at the end of the day, cheers. The same GPS system that we have down below. They're networked together. Got the throttle controls for the engine here, which are going to be replaced
next week with
new ones that actually work right. And you have all the same controls and instruments up here that you have downstairs for running the boat.
We have another seat over here, and the very back of this upper area, this is where we store dinghy, and then
davit. And it's a crane that there's a hook on that end. The thing lifts up and it'll lift the dinghy up and drop it down. So that's
we just swing it right. It swings over the water.
Right.
Use the side door. And just come up. Kind of a neat thing. Got a little chaise lounge area right here. Head, and boy, look at this. We've got pelican poop on the boat.
Got some birds that have been messing with us.
They've been pooping on the boat. Oh my gosh. And this is one of my jobs, is taking care of the anchor when we want to anchor out somewhere. That is the anchor. And then got two buttons here. One, you can use them with your feet. One's for lowering the anchor, and the other one is for bringing the anchor up. Look back at it. The upper helm.
First thing you see here are the two fuel tanks. One for each engine. They're each 400 gallons. So it makes for an expensive fill-up.
And diesel.
Behind you have a generator here. And the engine room is just forward of here.
So I'm actually standing right between the two fuel tanks. And Ken is sitting next to the engines. Okay, go.
So I'm sitting by the port engine. You cannot stand up in the engine room. It's located directly under the salon. And to make space available, it's not a full height ceiling in here. But this people I've had work on the engines say that this is pretty good room and spacing to get around the engines to work on them. Toolbox up here, got a fire suppression system. Got freshwater tanks in the back. There's a hot water heater back here, which we had fun replacing a year ago.
That was fun.
And you got black water tanks where the sewage is. Lots of batteries. There's more battery banks here. And the engines, as well as a number of things like the air conditioning units, actually use salt water for coolant. And they have what are called through hulls, which means that there's an opening to the seawater that could, if it broke open, you could sink the boat, literally. It has a valve on it. This is the air-conditioned cooling water pump. Pumps water in from the sea. And here's your valve handle. You can close it off if you needed to. Each engine also has a through hull where it gets its cooling water. Although the engine itself is not exposed to salt water, the cooling water flows through heat exchangers. The engine has its own radiator type of radiator fluid, and rather than having a coolant that runs like a car radiator and using air to cool it from the front of the car, it has heat exchangers like this one that cool the recirculating coolant, the radiator coolant inside the engine, and they cool it with seawater in these heat exchangers. This is your turbocharger right here, your air intake filter. It compresses the air going into the engine.
What is your gas mileage?
If you're not running the turbochargers, you're running around 8 knots, you can get about 1 mile per gallon. Go full speed and have the turbos running, you only get about a half a mile per gallon.
How much fresh water does this hold?
200 gallons. There's two 50-gallon wastewater tanks.
One in each side.
Yep.
Off the end of the boat, we have a swim platform, and we actually do have a ladder. We have a door here. This is so when we're docked, we have our shore water hookup, and then it's also a great place. We have a for when you're coming in from swimming. There's a shower head right there. You can shower off before getting into the boat. And this compartment is actually where we have the TV hookup for cable and such things. And as you can see, we also keep our propane for when we want to grill. And that's actually our shore power right there. And we have a 50 amp service.